Do you know that you have been fed a huge lie ever since you were little? And it's crippled your life and your ability to be happy and successful and secure in your body and in your life. Until you break out of this lie, you have zero chance of being truly successful. So what is that lie? That you only have 5 senses, and that any other awareness you have beyond that isn't normal. So you better ignore it and listen to external authorities. My name's Sonia Choquette. I am here to teach you today how to break free of that lie. I'm an intuitive, and I've been teaching for over 50 years. I've written 30 books. I've taught around the world, and I have been on a mission to liberate you from this lie and give you your power back, because it belongs to you. It's a part of who you really are. And quite honestly, without it, you cannot succeed. Thank you for being here. I hope you like this information, and let's check in. Dismantling the lie. You know, maybe you didn't get this lie directly at home. You might have, but it's really pervasive in the culture. Sort of this scientific sixth sensory culture that says you only have 5 senses. If you can't see it, taste it, touch it, smell it, or feel it, it's not real, is a tremendous lie. The fact that you have been taught that you can't trust yourself, you have to listen to external authorities, teachers, parents, bosses, partners. Somebody else knows better who you are than you. And you don't have to believe me when you actually challenge, is this lie damaging? Because the consequences of living this lie, of believing and complying with this, is you give your power away. You betray yourself. You ignore who you really are. You distance from your true gifts and calling. You go into self-doubt and insecurity. You become lost and confused, and you don't know who to trust, and you give yourself away and your power to those who don't value it, and they trash you and mislead you, and you just feel sick and fragmented inside. That's how it happens if you have 6 senses and you're only using 5. And you know the interesting thing about that? When you have 6 senses, but you're told to deny the existence of one of them, you deny the existence of everything you know to be true. That's how it really works. If I hear a knock at the door and someone next to you, and you say, well, got to go answer the door, and says, what are you talking about? You're crazy. There's no one at the door. It's like, what do you mean there's a knock at the door? No, there's not a knock at the door. What's the matter with you? I'm hearing a knock at the door. You're hearing things. You're crazy. Okay, well, if I doubt my hearing, then I guess I better also doubt what I see, and I better doubt what I smell, and I better doubt what I feel. I better doubt myself, because I'm hearing something that you tell me doesn't exist. That's the chaos that ensues when you are led to believe that this inner guidance, this natural inner guiding voice, this essential and empowering, most authentic inner compass that keeps you true to yourself, that keeps you well informed about the nature of energy around you, that keeps you safe, that keeps you making good decisions. If somebody robs you of that, or if the system robs you of that, then you just become a sheep being led like a lamb chop to the slaughter of other people's power and control. So part of the awakening from the 3rd dimension to the 5th dimension, in fact, the most essential part, is to challenge the lie and refute the lie that I only have 5 senses. And to begin to reclaim, reconnect, and begin to really follow and listen to your 6th sense, to your inner voice. And do not feel self-conscious. Do not feel defensive. Do not feel like I have to hide it. Refuse. Start to take your power back. It's like, whatever you're saying, your perception is not more valid than my inner truthful reality. Now, it's interesting, as I was just reading the other day, a New York Times article, science validates we do have 6 senses. It's like, oh, really? Oh, thank you. We've had these six senses from the beginning, from the day we were born, from the inception of who we are. And now science is going to come and say, okay, you have six senses. That is really part of what has disempowered us, is this notion that because certain people have continually, with a bias of denying the spirit, keep saying, look, there's only the physical world, there's only the physical world, there's only the physical world, when we are spiritual beings, has really caused us not only to betray ourselves, but we also betray our planet. Because our sixth sense is the one that says, don't mess with the planet, be respectful, and it's a living thing. Science is like, well, it's not a living thing. We can do whatever we want. The rational ego mind in charge is a dangerous animal. Don't believe me? Just look around. What happens to your life when you don't lead with this inner compass? You get super lost and very weak, and you become very much a controlled and vulnerable being. Now, the good news is there's a planetary shift going on, and this shift is centered in waking up this sixth sense. And not only that, not only are we waking it up, but we're reorienting it to its proper place. It's your first sense, your heartbeat. The minute your heart beats, the spirit in you is connected. Your heart is the first organ in your body to develop. It informs the rest of your body in how to grow. The heartbeat of you isn't some extra sense. It's central to who you are. It is essential for your well-being and happiness. It is essential for your ability to be well and physically grounded. It is essential for your ability to make choices about good relationships. Your intellect can say, oh, that's a good person I need to be with, but everything in your heart is screaming, run away. Your ego can say, you need that job, you need that money, where everything in your inner self is saying, get out of there, that's poisonous for you. But your inner self, we have been taught the biggest lie is, well, okay, you have an inner self, but it can't be trusted. It can be, and it should be. And people who do trust their inner self have really successful lives. There are daily heroes everywhere that have chosen to listen. I trust my vibes. It works for me, and my life works for me. Some are very famous. Einstein, for example, he trusted his inner voice. He attributed it to the magic of his life. He said the human spirit is our sacred gift, because that's what your sixth sense is. It is the voice. It is the direct lifeline to your spirit, which is your true self. It's a powerful voice, reliable. It's something you can listen to. Steve Jobs said it made him create the Apple, Mac empire. And so many people have listened to it. All you have to do is start looking around and asking anybody. Warren Buffett listened to it. Warren Bennett listens to it. People who are really influential and successful in finance, in medical, in inventions, in art, in acting, across the board, have unilaterally said, my intuition, my sixth sense is why I'm successful. And it's also interesting to mention that success, not just in monetary terms, which is just comfort and survival, but success in emotional and spiritual terms. I like who I am, and I like how I've created my life. I like the people I've surrounded myself with. I like the work I'm doing. I like the person that I am. That is the benefit of listening to your sixth sense. So we have to dismantle the lie. We have to rebel. That is what the primary initial outward picturing of what this shift is about. This shift is saying, well, we can't have a successful life if I only have five senses. It's like the car isn't going to drive well on only 3 tires. No wonder I'm dragging along and sparks are flying. The sixth sense needs to be reactivated. It is your heart knowing. And the consciousness of the shift is where we can become heart-centered, heart-guided humans. That is a miracle. That is what's happening. So, is it shifting in you? What is your heart telling you that the world around you has caused you to doubt? Put it in the comments, because when you name it, you claim it. The more you commit to, this is what my intuition is telling me. This is what my inner guidance is advising. The more you acknowledge it outwardly, the stronger this inner knowing, this missing piece in you, this essential part of you wakes up. It is the foundation of the shift, the foundation, the whole enchilada of the shift. So now, of course, I want you to start thinking about saying and expressing, what is my heart telling me? Now, why would you not? Let's talk about that, because it's pretty realistic. Why would you not? Partly because it might, and most likely is telling you, you got to change your life. Your ego's like, oh my God, I don't want to hear this. I'd rather be miserable. I'd rather be cowardly and miserable and stay stuck and be a victim, and then I'll just grow old and die. Because honestly, if you don't change and live more authentically, nothing's going to get better. It isn't. Nobody's going to save you, because you have chosen to be here, and the responsibilities to be you here. The best you, the heart-centered, authentic you. The other reason why we don't listen is because our egos get super controlling, and they really want us to dig down and dive in and hold on to their point of view, its point of view. Your ego can say, well, this is a good paying job. It's a lot of money. People look up to you, have power. Keep this job. Even though as you're driving to work, you have palpitations and sweats, and you feel sick and depressed and angry, and you can barely get yourself in the door. Well, the ego is going to say, my values are more important than the spirit, power and control and money. So you don't listen, and you suffer. I just had a client last week who's young, very young, who had been diagnosed with heart problems, but it's because she's not listening to her heart. It's contracting, it's seizing up. She's having arrhythmias, she's having heart palpitations, panic attacks, now blocked arteries. And it's because she's ignoring her heart, her essential self. So we have to decide, am I willing to live that authentic life? That's the key. Are you? How's it working out for you not to? You wouldn't be here if your sixth sense wasn't awakening. If your primary sense wasn't awakening, you wouldn't even be here. Now, there might be a part of you going, shut up, I don't want to hear you, but that's your ego trying to stay in control. It doesn't affect me or the people who tell you to listen to your heart negatively. It affects you negatively, though. If you don't listen to your heart, I don't feel it initially. But the truth is, for all of us not listening to our hearts, we all feel it, because you're affecting us. Anybody who's not in their heart is really in negative vibration. They're suffering, they're angry, they're fearful, they're controlling, they're isolating. They can be attacking, they can be depressed, shut down. And listen, it's hard. It's hard to be a human. And the physical world is very challenging. So at least if you listen to your heart, you have a chance to be a happy person. But if you don't, good luck. You're really giving away the real opportunity for you to have a life of meaning. Taking responsibility for yourself is another big one. To listen to your heart means I'm going to take my power back, and I'm not going to look to authority figures to be in charge of me. I get it. It's easy to believe and have the fantasy that if I'm really cooperative with everybody who tells me what to do, they'll take care of me. But even if someone's trying to take care of you, it's your job to take care of your spirit. It's your responsibility. And so nobody's going to do it better than you. I have a client who she said, I have the most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful husband. He'll do anything I say. He supports me in anything, but I want to start writing books, and I want to start being more creative, and I won't let myself. And he encourages me all the time. And you know what? I'm mean to him because I'm unhappy. I shouldn't be mean to this wonderful person, but I'm snotty and I'm dismissive and I'm irritable. I'm high maintenance. He's wonderful. It's me. I don't even know why he's sticking around because I'm trying to create drama to distract me from the fact that I'm scared to listen to my inner self. Well, it's time, everybody. Let's just start with acknowledging I have six senses. If you say I don't, you're back in the dark ages, because even science now says you do. Just look up New York Times, six senses. Humans have six senses. And the second part of the lie is, even if you do pay attention, you can't trust your sixth sense. You can, if you're honest. If you're willing to be honest and responsible for yourself and not play games with yourself, you can. And it's time. Because the reason we're in so much trouble on the planet is for everybody ignoring the spirit in us. The ego in us is very divisive, but the spirit in us is very unifying. Only through the spirit in all of us awakening are we going to really start healing ourselves, our homes, our lives, and ultimately our planet. I believe you know that in some deep part of yourself. Might not intellectually be ready for it, but you feel it. Well, the good news is when you start to acknowledge you have six senses, the healing begins. And more importantly, it can happen very quickly. So write down in the comments, is your sixth sense working? What kind of a lie were you given? Have you overcome it? Are you coming back to yourself? What's blocking it? Because we're all in this together, and even to share it and write it in the comments and put it out there begins to bring it back, come to life, and helps us help each other, because we can help each other. And if you're one of those that want to say, this is so stupid, you're just still denying because you're afraid to take responsibility for this sixth sense, or you don't want to be disappointed. So calm down, be patient, and be curious. Your inner self is there. It's waiting. And with it, a whole group of guides who are willing to help you. There's a whole life on the other side of going from 5 senses to 6. It's not a small change. It is an exponential, live in a different reality change. And that's the shift. So we'll leave you there for now. Just start checking in. If you want more guidance, I recommend my book, Trust Your Vibes. It is basic manual for this. We'll continue working together, so thanks for tuning in. If you like this message and you want to join and stay part of the shift and work together, please subscribe, because I'll be back with more. I am guided by the emissaries of the third ray, my higher self and guides, and by yours, to hook arms and let's move together into this higher shift. You belong, you're part of it, and you can trust yourself. That is a revelation that you may have never heard, but it's time. That is the beginning of your shift. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe, and I'll see you soon. All my love.